Hi YouTube, today I'm outside here in this beautiful nature as you can see, but today I'm gonna show you how I made this t-shirt design of Jake Gyllenhaal, aka me, because I'm literally Jake Gyllenhaal. But without further ado, let's begin. So first off, what I did was I grabbed an image from Nightcrawler, and then I went to the filter gallery section tab where I turned on the stamp and grains effect. And pretty much I just kept kind of playing with it until I was satisfied with the look I was going for. And once I did that, I wanted a better cutout of the head shape. And to do that, what I did was I just copied the image multiple times and I just went with the stamp and grain effect, but then I lowered it a bit so that you could see more of the white space showing. And when that happens, you can get a better visual of the head. So I just used that as kind of more of a guide to cut out the head, and then I just used the lasso tool pretty much to cut it out. So the trick here is to really use the mask to kind of finesse the image in the different layers. So you want to use the black fill to get rid of the unnecessary details that you don't want, while using the white fill to include the ones that you do want. So for example, as you can see here, I wanted more of the hairs to show, so I used the white fill on the mask to let it show, and I just used the black one on the different layers to hide it. But yeah, I spent way too much time tweaking it, but I think overall it came out looking pretty solid. So after I got the final cutout of the image, I realized Jake wasn't looking scary enough. So what I did was I went to the original photo and then I copy and pasted that. And I went to the filter galleries tab, and guess what I did? More stamp and more grain. So I upped the grain a whole lot more, and then it kind of made it look a little scarier. But the real thing that I did was I went to the blend mode and then I clicked on difference. Now, I don't really know what the difference mode does, but it ended up looking pretty cool, and it turned Jake into this scary looking demon, which I really liked. And at this point, I just kept kind of refining it by tweaking the stamp and the grain effects, back and forth until I found what I just liked. So at this point, the image is pretty much done, but I wanted to add more of a texture to it, more of a vintage feel, so to speak. So to do this, what I did was I created a new layer, and then I filled it with gray. Then I went to the filter gallery tab where I turned on reticulation, and it created this really unique looking grain, as you can see here. And once I did that, I just went to the different blend modes, turned on screen so it shows up on the image, and then I played with the levels to make it more dark. And yeah, and it kind of gave this cool vintage look to it. So now at this point, I wanted to add a text to go with the image, and I forgot how. So I went on Google and I typed how to type on a path, but it turned out to be pretty easy. You just create an ellipse and you start typing on it, and it creates this nice little arch. And for the word, I just chose outsider because my brand is called Rather Live Outside, and Jake Gyllenhaal, he plays this character Lou Bloom on Nightcrawler, and he's kind of an outsider himself. Highly recommend if you didn't watch that, by the way. But anyway, the text was looking a little too anorexic here, so I went to the stroke effects and I thickened that baby up, and it made it look nice and thick, just like how I like my typefaces. And at this point, I wanted to make it more grungy, just like the image. But over here, I'm going to show some super secret sauce. So you want to go to distort and then click displace. And then you want to go on the displacement map and just choose a texture map that looks really grungy. So personally, I went ahead online and I searched up grunge texture, but I found this scratch film texture I really liked. And I just went ahead and used that. And it came out looking pretty nice. But that's how you do it. Comes out super grunge, super quick. Now the print is finally done, and I'm just going to show you how I get ready to send it off to the screen printer. So you want to go to the file and just clean up all the mess by merging all the layers that you need and get rid of all the ones that you don't need. And afterwards, you just want to measure the graphic against the shirt that you want printed and measure it on the Photoshop file accordingly as well. And to do that, you just press Ctrl R, and you can see the rulers pop up on the top and on the side, and make sure it just fits all well. And once you've done that, just click image on the top and then click trim, and pretty much you're good to go. One last thing I like to send to the screen printer too is just a tech pack of the garments so that the screen printer can accurately measure the t-shirt. But now that we're done, I'll see you next when I'm picking up the t-shirt. Alright, I'm back, and guess what we got? Bam. We have the Jake Gyllenhaal t-shirt made and printed right there. I'm going to throw up some close-up shots of the t-shirt, and you can go ahead and see the details. Now, if you see the rippings on the collar here, the way I got them done is through the Dremel machine, which you can get on Amazon for like 60-70 bucks, I think, maybe cheaper. But that pretty much concludes it, you know. As far as the screen printing goes, though, I do want to say there's 4 different options that I personally had, and I went with the DTG print, which is direct to garment. Now you want to ask your screen printer what other options they have. So for me, I had DTG screen print, which is usually a high MOQ, and then I had DTF, and then I had vinyl. Now go ahead and ask your screen printer what they offer you. This is a DTG print. It costed me $30. Low key kind of expensive, but that's what happens when you're just printing for one t-shirt. But I think it came out looking pretty good. So now that you know how to make a t-shirt, go out there and make something of your own. Go create something cool. Don't copy mine, please. But that concludes the video. Go like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.